town one way or another. And I wouldn't do anything because the last training period we had, they said that we had a 20% chance of getting out of the Army alive because we were doing, and they made us do all these dirty things, you know, like killing people. And it was kind of strange. The only good thing about it, I got mad one time and applied to join the
Legionnaire?
parachute group. You
Oh,
know,
yeah.
and so I volunteered for it, and then they looked at me as if I was a criminal because I wanted to leave this wonderful group I was with. Well, I found out that the paratroopers were set aside and were training, and when they had a specific thing, they sent them out to work at it. And sometimes they go 8 months and not do anything. And I thought that was better than doing it every day. And I went into this company, and what we did, they brought in replacements we used up a lot of people. They weren't killed, well, most of them were wounded or something.
Mhm.
So we had about 1,000 replacement people, and when I was waiting to go in, I was there helping train those guys. And then we ran out of anybody to give out, so they sent me back to my outfit. They never sent me to the paratroops. I don't think they ever put me in for it. I don't know what the hell they did. So I ended up in and even the Army, they had to screw up the worst thing in the world. What the war in Italy was, you kept chasing the Germans.
Mhm.
Well, they'd be in a town or an area, and so they knew everything in that area. And before they left, they made the Italians do all their work. The Italians dug foxholes for them,
Mhm.
beautiful foxholes. The Italians were good at doing them, and they dug all these holes. And when you went to fight them, they were 10 foot in the ground. It was hell. But somehow or another, we kept going, and it was they mistreated the people.
Mm.
The Germans, if they were in the town, they took all the food they wanted. They did anything with women, and they had everything priced low, like you could get a girl. And with the Germans, it was never over $2. The minute the Americans got it, the price grew to $25. And it was, and we didn't make money, you know, so it was kind of interesting.
How long were you over there?
A little over 2 years.
And you married Grandma whenever you got back?
No, I couldn't, because when I came home, I'd finished 3 years of college when I went in. So I came home, and I called her up when I got here, and she said she was still there. So I said, well, let me see what happens. I said, I'm not going to screw up. I have to finish school because I have 3 years done. So Georgetown, where I went, had to take me by law if you were there before they
Mhm.
had to take. My brother was going to Columbia University
Kenny?
at home. Bobby was. Bobby was a little older. He's 5 years younger than me. So I went over and I said, well, gee, Columbia's a good school. And I went over and told them I'd like to go. They had 55,000 students.
Wow.
So it's big. 15 or 20,000 people were applying, and they could take about 1,500, you know.
Wow.
So, you know, they could choose all the good students and all that.
Yeah.
So I got interviewed by a guy, and he said, you don't think I could push you in just on your grades alone? They aren't that great. I said, yeah. And I said, well, don't feel badly. I said, because Georgetown has to take me because I was there before. He said, why'd you want to come here? I said, well, to tell you the truth, I've been away from home for 3 years at college, then 2.5 years at the Army, sort of tired of traveling around. I said, I wouldn't mind living at home and going to school there. And I said, I think the school is great. I know Columbia is as good a school as you could ask for.
Yeah.
And he said, you know what? I'm not bothered with your records. I think you're a nice guy. I'm going to let you in. He had the right to do it, you know. It was just sheer luck. And so I went and they put me in the School of Business where I could take international courses and things.
Mhm.
And they did well. I studied labor relations, and the professor was the former chairman of the International Labor Organization, which was a big thing.
Mhm.
And I studied about American politics, and our professor was one of the brain trusts for Franklin Roosevelt. One of
Really?
the guys that pulled all
Wow.
things that they're just starting to do again now. And so you learned a lot of different things and got good people and so on. So I went through that. I enjoyed Columbia. It was a nice school.
Where in New York are you from?
Huh?
Where in New York are you from?
Uh, well, we're from Manhattan.
Okay.
We lived, did you ever ride in New York?
No, I've never been to New York.
No. Well, there's a George Washington Bridge uptown in New York,
Mhm.
up in Manhattan, and we lived there before they built the bridge, and we watched them build it. And then they built it, and so help me God, ours was the last apartment house next to it. They didn't knock us down, we just stayed there. So we were only about 200 or 300 yards from the bridge.
Wow.
And so I grew up there, and across the street from where we lived was Riverside Drive, which is a big park all along the riverfront. And I used to go over there. My mother took us when we were little kids, and then used to go there. We lived in a nice neighborhood that, if you could call apartments, you're not used to it. And the apartment we were in was nicer. My father made a couple of, he wasn't rich, but he made enough money that we could live in a better apartment and pay $60 or $70 instead of 30. But the area there, all the kids there were sort of lax. They didn't want to play ball, and I wanted to play ball badly.
Mhm.
So I kept going and going and found a place 6 blocks away. It was sort of a rough neighborhood where kids stole stuff. And that's where I played ball. And I was on the team there playing. Used to go with those guys.
Baseball?
We played mainly softball and football,
Mhm.
and we didn't have basketball hoops. We pulled it's all apartments. We pulled the thing down, the ladder down that you could climb up on
Mhm.
to get into a house, and we drop it so we could use it for a hoop to play basketball. And when we played ball, we found this old yard, it was, there was, right next to it, there was a convent of visitation, I don't know, some nuns.
Mhm.
And then this lot was next to it, and we took that lot, and it had rocks that were that big in it, and just kids. We moved those things, and we broke up the rocks and cleaned up the place for ourselves.
Wow.
But the left field was out in the street, and right field was in the street too. And so it was exciting to play ball there, because if you were in the outfield,